Controlling an iPhone, a Mac, or a headless server directly from your Windows desktop browser, Android, or Apple tablet, with or without an app. No software, no drivers, no complicated network setup. Meet the Comet Q, the world's first KVM that makes this possible. It's an ultra-light palm-sized device weighing just 78.5 grams, features a built-in 1.8-inch touchscreen to instantly check status or trigger actions. It's equipped with Wi-Fi 6 for fast, seamless remote access, and it works in 3 steps. Step 1. Plug its built-in USB-C cable into the device you want to control. Step 2. Provide external power to the second port if you need long-term use or charging. And Step 3. Open any browser on the same network and take full control. But it works best with the GLKVM app when using touchscreen devices. The golden rule? It works with any device where the USB-C port supports DisplayPort Alt Mode. Apple, iPhone 15s and newer, modern iPads, MacBooks and Mac Minis. Android and PC, modern Samsung Galaxy phones, modern Windows laptops and mini PCs. iOS developers test apps on a real iPhone straight from a Windows workstation without touching the device. Remote IT and sysadmins get BIOS level access to headless servers and kiosks. It works even if the OS isn't running. Streamers control a secondary Mac or an iPhone camera without ever leaving your main PC monitor. And hardware level security. Unplug it and the session dies instantly. Zero background processes left behind. GLINet has thankfully sent this over, and I'm incredibly grateful for them for doing that. The GLRM Q1. It's the same type of KVM that we've expected from them in the past, in a smaller form factor. It runs on a single USB-C cable, rather than have split USB connections for power, for keyboard, for mouse, for HDMI, for Ethernet. It has built-in Wi-Fi. In the box, we've got the Comet Q, a protective sleeve, and the user manual. We open everything up and put all the bits and bobs to the side. Okay, we get a nice silicone protective sleeve in orange, and the Comet Q itself. And here it is. One thing I immediately notice is how much bigger it is compared to what I thought it would be when looking at this on their Kickstarter page. Okay, so we're setting this back up from factory settings. It starts off by offering you the screen orientation, so you can choose which way you want to hold it. In my case, I'm holding it sideways because I'm connected to the tablet. Agree to the privacy. That says configure to use the Wi-Fi. It's finding the relevant Wi-Fi. We're going to want to connect to the Moody. I assume the password's going in this field. Okay, so password for me. There we go. And we've got our IP address as well. We're not going to configure the GLINet cloud, but you can certainly do that if you have an account. And there's our Wi-Fi signal. It's detecting video signal. It's detecting keyboard and mouse. Can we get this to work using our Samsung tablet? Oh, perfect. Okay, so we're in. You can see we're running the new beta firmware. Right, now, GLINet always recommend for things like tablets or mobile phones to connect via the GLINet app. So we're going to do that now on my Z Fold. Okay, so we've had a few little minor issues with the Samsung tablet connecting things up, but GLINet have sent over a firmware upgrade. So we're going to upgrade the firmware on the Comet Q now. And how do we do that? We simply just connect to its IP address in the browser. In my case, that's 192.168.8.101. We log in with the password that we set on the Comet Q, like so. We can then go to the upgrade. Currently, we're running version 1.8.1 Alpha 5, a new version, which we've just got from GLINet. Not currently available online. It might be at the time this video goes out. More likely closer to the time of release. Possibly might even ship with it. And then these are the firmware changelog. Just if you want to pause and have a look at that. So we're not going to save the current configuration because GLINet recommend against that for this particular firmware upgrade. So we're going to install without saving. So we're updating this now. Always to the latest app. Okay. Again, you can sign into this and log in, but we do have everything configured in here. So we're going to put our password in that we created through the interface. We're going to remember that password. And I would implore you to get on the Kickstarter page ASAP. Notify yourself by sending them your email. And they also offer a VIP addition to this, basically, which if you pay the $1 non-refundable, you get to access the launch 48 hours before anyone that isn't an insider. If you go for the Backers Club, you access it 3 days before launch. You get the Comet Q at 47% off retail, which is fantastic considering you're only paying $9.99. And you get some other benefits such as priority shipping, a private Discord channel, the Comet Q plushie keychain, and recognition on the GLINet website. I think that's a super deal. You can use the links in the description below as well, which helps support the channel without costing you a penny more. Underneath, we've got the pass-through USB-C for power, and on the back, we've got the USB-C connector, which we can pull out. So what we're going to do now is hook this up to my Razer Blade Advanced running Ubuntu desktop. One of the things I love is that you can get quite immediate feedback on if video signal and the keyboard and mouse signal is being detected. So you can kind of troubleshoot really quickly where things are going wrong or not. So we can connect to the Razer Blade Advanced 2021 that's running Ubuntu through its USB-C port. However, because this only goes up to 1080p and the Razer Blade is 4K native OLED display, it's obviously shrinking that display down. If we do 100% scale instead of 200%, yeah, that's much better. If we change the scaling, that's given us more space to work with. You have to Alt-Tab to get out of the locked-in window. So we're using Computer Other. The maximum 1080p at 60Hz, mode is normal, quality is lossless, transfer is WebRTC. Again, getting out of this, you need to Alt-Tab out. Then we've got speaker and microphone, virtual keyboard, bad link mode. Okay, mouse jiggle. We've got all the cool features in here. Let's get that. Oh yes, dark mode. GVM local connected to the Moody 7 instead of my normal Wi-Fi network. Why, you ask? Because that's what I'd set the Comet Q up with originally. So, okay, so let's connect to the Comet Q while it's connected to the Razer Blade running Windows this time instead of Ubuntu. So interestingly, I can see it moving the mouse on the display. It's not sending the display. Oh, here we go. Took a few seconds. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're in. Took a few seconds, but we're in. It's okay, but it's a bit laggy. Even though we're supposed to be running at over 60 FPS here on this P2P mode. Okay. Even though the FPS seems to be lower, DirectH 264 seems to be the fastest response to mouse clicks, as you probably can see. Okay, a little bit snappier. WebRTC, FVC. That seems to be the most ideal settings for Windows 11 on the Razer Blade Advanced 2021 model, at least. Yeah, so you can see it drawing. It ain't too bad, but you can see it's okay. It's good. I would say it was acceptable for remote access. Yeah, it's a little bit more snappier in bad link mode. I have got a lot of Wi-Fi routers around me. Now, I have tested this out on an iPhone 17 Pro Max, and it absolutely works perfectly. There's no problem with that at all. You can use the touch mode, you can drag and drop, you can do all your favorite things you want to do on there. The only caveat is you must go into your iPhone settings, go to accessibility, and enable touch mode assistance. Once you've done that, everything will work as intended. I also strongly recommend using the GL KVM app for all those touch features. Okay, so GLINet has confirmed to me that for Samsung devices on Android, you don't actually have the ability to do touch mode. Although you can see the indicator there moving across, you can see it's just mouse mode. If we go into the settings and we click absolute mode, you'll see that it actually doesn't give us that touch interface that the iPhone got with the touch mode assistant. Therefore, we only have mouse relative mode available, which basically allows us to use something like a Bluetooth mouse, which I've got attached to my tablet, or even just your finger. But again, it's not in absolute mode. It's offset slightly, and you're just controlling the mouse across the screen, almost like a virtual touch screen, if you will, like almost like Samsung Dex. It is fully usable. You might run into a few issues where you get caught out on the bottom of the screen where you can't like drag apps up or swipe up, for example. You can get away with that somehow on or somewhat with the physical mouse versus your finger because you can kind of click and touch at the same time. I've tried doing that on here myself, but that doesn't seem to have a great option or ability, rather. One thing that you can do that makes this slightly better is if you do go to your accessibility options and we do interaction and dexterity, if you hit the assistant menu option, what this actually does for you is gives you a little tile here that you can click on that can give you all the options that are a little bit more difficult to use via the Comet Q on this device. So that's a really handy workaround for people that maybe just want to get back home, for example, or maybe look at the recent apps without having to force yourself to swipe left, right, and center all over the screen, and it's not exactly working all the time. So that is the overview for Comet Q on Android. The support teams say from GLINet that this is a limitation of the Android operating system or maybe the Samsung operating system overlay. I only have Samsungs to test this on, and I've only had limited time with an iPhone, as you've seen. Saying that, it's still very functional. If you were doing remote support from your tablet, or phone, or from your PC or laptop, you can still control it. You still have all the options of doing that. That accessibility tile there is probably native to Samsung devices. Other Android devices will have accessibility options, but they will be somewhat less customized. Make of that what you will. So I hope you've had a good overview of the Comet Q. It's a fantastic little device. It's going to allow you to help your family, friends. You can preset Wi-Fi. You can pre-configure. You can control Android via mouse mode. You can control iPhones via touch mode. You can control Ubuntu, Linux, or Windows. It doesn't matter. As long as the USB-C port enables display alt port mode, you'll be absolutely fine. Get on that Kickstarter, lock in those early deals, use the link in the descriptions below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.